Hey, sports fans, welcome to Sports Unfolded NBA Ranking Show. We are talking playoff basketball tonight. I am your host, Eric, the big dog in the house. Kenny, how are you tonight? You ready?
Doing
You
great,
pumped?
doing great.
What a great.
Oh, I am
So
pumped.
far, these NBA playoffs have been
phenomenal. I just want you to know there's 19,155 seats in TD Bank Garden, and we needed every one of them to get us through that.
We did. A lot going on. We're going to start in the Western Conference. We'll move to the East. Very special. Do you know, Kenny, that I am going to challenge you all about the playoffs. So be prepared. All right, my friend. Let's see where we're at, because I am excited to talk playoff basketball with you again. We are in the second round of the NBA playoffs. We're going to start off with this Minnesota Timberwolves Denver Nuggets matchup. Minnesota are up 2-0 in this series. Defending champions do not look like themselves, Kenny. What have you seen in this series so far?
Eric, I know I texted you last week, but if I told you the Minnesota Timberwolves would go 7-0 in the first round and the second round, you would have thought I was be crazy.
Absolutely. That's what's happened.
That's what's happened. 7-0, undefeated in the playoffs right now. They are taking Denver to the woodshed. I don't know what's going on. The Joker is, I think he's just tired. Murray's frustrated. They just fined him a lot of money for throwing that thing on the court. So, yep, 100,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of pocket money.
Yeah. I will say this: Minnesota, number one scoring team in the playoffs so far, 114.2 points per game, second in the league in shooting percentage in the playoffs at 48.8. Fourth defensive points. This is where I think Minnesota has taken the advantage. They are able to slow Denver down. 98.7 points per game they're giving up. And they're also fifth in rebounding. So you think about what Minnesota is able to do. Anthony Edwards has become a superstar in front of our eyes. We're seeing that dog, that alpha. Honestly, probably the face of the league right now, if you think about what he's able to do and in the trash he can talk and back it up.
Yeah, it's just totally amazing. I mean, they slowed down Denver, but Denver's like that slow Joker's, that slow get down the court, jog down the court, but it's just backfiring on them right now.
Yeah, and I think what we saw too in the first series against the Lakers, they could afford to take an early L, where they were down early and then you see a change. You can't do that against Minnesota. And that's where I think you're starting to see is that 6, Kenny. I don't know what that means. 4 plus 2 equals 7, only in Kenny's world. I think you're saying 6.
Right.
They were 6 in them.
Yes, 6.
They're
I'm sorry.
6 in them.
6, yeah, 6.
4 and 2 equals 7 in Kenny's. It's the new math, Ron. It's the new math. Come on.
Right.
We all know about the new math. That's that new math.
The new math
going on.
Everybody's doing it.
Except Ron. I will say this too, though, Kenny. Nikolai Jokic is doing pretty much what he wants to do. Again, he's averaging a triple-double in the playoffs. Other than not 0.6 on assists, right? He's almost averaging a triple-double. I will say this, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit, Kenny, before we move on. Jamal Murray. So the NBA has decided to fine him based on what he's done. Here's my problem with that. Yes, he didn't injure somebody, and that's what some of the argument is. That's why they didn't suspend him. The NBA is all about making their money. Jamal Murray being out of the next game would have hurt the product. People wouldn't have watched because they automatically would assume Minnesota would win. I have a problem with this because this is creating a situation where now you're tolerating some negative behaviors because he doesn't. So what's next? You could throw a chair as long as it doesn't hit anybody. Can you throw a water bottle? It doesn't hit anybody. When does it stop? Jamal Murray frustrated. 37.5% he is shooting in the playoffs. He is absolute garbage. He's upset about with himself. But to do what he did, and to me, the NBA not funding him, I find it to be a travesty.
Yeah. 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 I do too. I mean, he's so good that, he's just getting frustrated and, maybe shoot out of his slump.
Yeah, they're becoming the NFL. But again, they're
Become-
tolerating negative behaviors.
Yep.
They're tolerating negative behaviors. And what they're saying is it's because of financial reasons. This has nothing to do with he didn't injure somebody. So we should have waited till he broke somebody's ankle and then go, oh, now we'll suspend him. I mean, I don't get it. You know what I mean? You drive drunk in a car, you get a DUI if you get stopped. They don't go, oh, well, at least you didn't kill anybody. We'll let you go this time. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
you have negative behaviors, there's consequences.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Do the Denver Nuggets come back in this series, Kenny? Can they come back? Can they, win this series, or do you think it's over?
I think Minnesota has the answer for them. Like I got to repeat, so I don't think they're going to come back from this. I think they'll win one, but I don't think they'll win in Minnesota. I mean, the Timberwolves sold 2 games in Denver, so the Nuggets might win one, but when they get to Minnesota, yeah, watch out.
Right, Minnesota going home now. Yep. Listen, young Bucks, man, they are coming at people, and with a vengeance. And I think Denver's done. I don't think their style of play can compete with what. And you think about it, Rudy Gobert not in game 2. Rudy Gobert, who's their best defensive player, 4-time now player of the year, defensive player of the year, wasn't in game 2, and they still beat him by over 20 points.
Yep.
Doesn't bode well for the Denver Nuggets. All right, my friend. Let's talk about the
doesn't look well for them at all.
Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Dallas Mavericks. OKC up 1-0 in this series. Just when you talk defense, the number 1 defensive team in the playoffs, OKC, 90.6 points per game they're giving up. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You think about what they're able to do. And in a scoring league. And this is where the playoffs change, right, Kenny? Because now you start to see defenses, teams that play well defensively. Minnesota, the Thunder, the Celtics, all been one of the top teams. The Knicks have been top teams in defense all year. Now it comes to fruition in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah. Correct. You got to play. You got to play defense in the playoffs. It's you just have to, or you can get outscored. You can get blown out. It's just that
SGA.
And I think that Luka's hurt. Okay.
No, go ahead.
And Luka's hurt. He's hurt, but he's not going to stop going for this title because he got something to prove. Kyrie, same thing. He has something to prove. He's not overhyped. He is a little crazy, but
I will say this, Kenny. Okay. I'm glad you brought Luka Doncic up in this conversation, and I'm going to challenge because I know Ron's a big fan, and I'm gonna piss Ron off right now. I'm losing Ron's Christmas card right now. Luka Doncic, to me, is one of the laziest basketball players, superstars we've seen. He doesn't play defense, and now he's going to use this knee injury as the reason why they're struggling. He's shooting 39.5% in the playoffs. He is horrible. To me, give Kyrie the rock more and let Kyrie take over because Kyrie has shown the ability to score, but he takes a back seat because they allow Luka to run the offense.
It's a possibility. That's a possibility. So what you're telling me is he's a Detlef Schrempf.
I don't know if that's a fair comparison either. Though. Definitely wasn't.
Well,
Luka has talent.
right? Well, he was terrible on defense. That level was terrible on defense. He didn't play no defense.
Yeah, and listen,
That left
Luka
didn't play
doesn't either.
no
Luka
defense.
doesn't.
Everybody's terrible on defense. Oh, he's terrible on defense. He even said I'm terrible on defense. Shoot it, but I'm terrible on defense. So, yeah, but you're right. I mean, he slows down everything. He goes down on the court. Yeah, I can see that. But he's very talented.
It's the pace.
But
You got to play at fast pace.
I can see that.
Right? OKC plays that frenetic style, and then defensively they're going to try to shut you down. You need to run, and Luka's not going to allow you to do that. Listen, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander by far is becoming one of those superstars in the MVP running. I think they're going to announce that tonight as well. 27.6 points per game. But you got Jalen Williams who's chipping in, Chet Holmgren. They've got a total team over there in Oklahoma. And I think they are a real threat to get out of the West.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, all 5 of their starters are averaging double digits. And that's crazy if you think about it. And all of them over 6 rebounds a game. So them young boys came to play.
Yeah, we see it. It's a young league now, man. All those old vets that were running the league, Steph, Durant, James, they're out. These are the kids now. They're taking over.
Yep, they're sitting at home. Watching it.
And you can't keep up. They can't keep up with these kids. So
no,
you got the 2 teams in the West. So you think Minnesota gets out? And who wins this series?
Yeah. Thunder.
So you got OKC versus Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think the Mavs can catch up with the Thunder. I think that Thunder is just gonna. I'm looking for a sweep on this one. I don't think that the Mavs can do it against OKC. They're too talented. They're too young.
Ron says, see how the Mavs respond in game 2. I am going to say this right now, Ron. You know how they're going to respond? They're going to cry about Luka's injury. And Ron's one of these guys who, injury this, and guys should play through. Now, all of a sudden, we'll hear about Luka's knee, and that's what caused them to lose. How about this? Suck it up and play defense a little bit. Try to run the ball offense around Kyrie a little bit more, and maybe you get a shot of beating the Thunder at least 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last week he had Denver Mavs. Last week he's challenging you. He's saying last week.
You need to do. Last week he had Denver Mavs. What is that?
I think he was saying that's who you picked.
What does that mean? Oh. Well, Denver did advance, and the Mavericks did advance. So what does that mean?
Now you're picking the 2 options. Don't pay attention. Get back into what you were saying.
Oh,
Luka's got to score more.
My train of thought. Luka's got to score more, and he has to play a little defense. Just a little bit. He has to play a little defense. Because the guys behind him, they're playing defense. They're doing all they can, but if he wants to be a superstar, he got to be a superstar.
All right, my friend. Let's talk about some Eastern Conference here. Got the Knicks versus the Pacers. New York's up 1-0 in this series. A little bit of controversy at the end of that game in the officiating and how it kind of helped the Knicks get through. Here's where I'm going to tell you right now. Pacers, you're okay. Because the Knicks just sustained another injury. Now Mitchell Robinson out for the rest of the postseason. They're starting center. So you're looking at their starters already play the most minutes to begin with. Now you're asking them to do even more.
Yeah. So no Julius Randle, no Robinson.
Austin has the Knicks in 4. I don't know if the Knicks can get through Austin. Being honest with you, they are just obliterated when it comes to injuries. This team's decimated. And now you're asking Jalen Brunson to do more, Josh Hart to do more, Anunoby to do more. Like, you're asking a lot of these starters who are playing about 42 to 43 minutes a game.
Yeah. You're asking to do a lot, but there's one thing that the Indiana Pacers don't have that the Knicks do. MSG. Okay. All right. Madison
They're
Square
cooking Chinese
Garden.
food.
Okay.
Oh,
Madison Square Garden. That place is legendary. That place will be lit. Okay. You see the old Knicks in front row seat, Patrick Ewing, Larry Johnson. They're there every night cheering them boys on. And let me tell you something, when that crowd gets rocking, there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do.
I get it. Here's the Pacers, though. Tyrese Halliburton has to, I don't know what's going on with him. He's struggling a little bit. Maybe the spotlight's a little too big for him. Let's see. But we know the kid's talented. Siakam has come to play. Miles Turner's come to play. Yeah. I think this injury is gonna hurt them, because now you're asking even more of a team to, what are they going to play, 48 minutes each? Like, the Pacers like to run, and the Pacers are deep, and the Pacers will put on 10 guys on the court, you know, during the game. They match up and switch out very well. I'm a little nervous for the Knicks. I'd like to see New York get out of it, and I agree with you. It's kind of that old school mentality. You see all those old Knicks, and you root for them, but I don't know if they can do it with the injuries that they've sustained.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. This is the matchup is gonna be tough. This might go 7 games. This might go 7 games. It out.
Yeah, I think. And then again, New York has home court. Maybe then that makes the difference. To your point, Madison Square Garden becomes that factor. But I'd be curious to see if Indiana can come out tonight and kind of run the table a little bit and put up some points.
Yeah.
Do the Knicks have enough firepower? Brunson has scored 4 straight games, 40 points or more.
Yeah.
He may need a 50 spot tonight.
Yeah, you're right. Double nickel.
Right? Double nickel. Let's do it. Bring it out. 55, baby. Come on, Jalen. Let's go, Brunson.
Woo! Double nickel, baby.
My goodness. Would that be amazing?
That'd be amazing.
All right. So
who was the last person who had a double nickel in the Garden?
I don't know, some MJ dude, I believe. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He was all right.
He was all right. He's in the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame, by the way. Check out the website. I will say this, Kenny. Who wins this series?
Woo! Austin, I'm going with the Knicks. I'm with you, man.
And 4? You got him sweeping?
I don't know in 4. I don't know in 4. Give me a 7.
He backed
Austin, I ain't with you that much, but I
like
I'm
him,
with
but
the Knicks. Yeah. And 7. We'll do 7.
7. All right. I'm going to pick Indiana out of this.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to pick Indiana, but I think, to your point, it may go 7, and I just think the Knicks are going to be so tired by Game 7. All right, Kenny. Let's talk about your Boston Celtics here. They're playing the Cavaliers. They lead the series 1-0.
Yeah.
Again, 25-point blowout last night.
Yeah.
Celtics, again, second defensive scoring allowed, 92.7 points per game. Number 1 rebounding team in the league in the playoffs. 5th in scoring, 109.8 points per game. I could give you all these great stats. Here's my 2
Mhm.
problems with the Boston Celtics right now. That's scary.
Okay, give it to. Okay.
Jason Tatum shooting 40.6% from the field.
Yeah.
That ain't going to win you a championship. And
Mm-mm.
Porzingis, in how they're nursing this injury, is scaring me because I feel like it's a lot more serious where he's going to get hurt again.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, first, I'll take the second part first. We are 22-4 with Porzingis not there. So I'm not worried about that. I am worried about how long this is going to take him to recover. Because at some point we do need him in the playoffs.
Kenny,
I
you're a basketball guy. Kevin Durant, was that not a calf injury that eventually turned into a blown Achilles?
True. Yes. Yes.
My fear.
Yes. Like I said, I hope they're doing everything they can to help fix it. If it's not help fix it, just tell the truth. He ain't coming back. That's first and foremost.
I'm going to Jack Nicholson you right now, though. You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
And Paul Pierce ain't walking through that door, Eddie.
Is that right?
The truth.
Right. The truth, right. So I'm good with that. You know what? Al Horford is doing a great job. Over the last 3 games, he scored 21 points. So we're good with that. Derek White is shooting 72% in the Miami series.
Holy cow!
In the Miami series, which transferred over to to the Cavs series. Okay, so I'm not even worried about that. Their defensive good. What I am worried about, okay, is how Coach Joe, when Tatum or Brown gets all nice and lathered up and shooting the ball and hot, he takes him out. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe he just don't want him to get tired easily, but I don't know what's up with that.
Kenny, let me ask you this. If I was to tell you going in that Jason Tatum would be your 3rd best player, wouldn't you be concerned?
Yeah, I'd say
right. Look
yes,
at bold Derek White is a god. He is a god. Austin, I'm telling you right now, the kid's playing all out of his mind. I don't even understand it.
Yes, he is.
Did you see him dribbling behind his back, hitting threes? Like, who is this guy? One of the best defensive guys. Like, defensively, I would not. Derek White, I'd put up in the top 5 defensively for guards.
Yeah.
Offensively, what he's doing for the Celtics, he's averaging 22.8 points per game. Derek White, Jaylen Brown is actually earning his contract, Kenny, as the highest paid player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing those guys. What is going on? Jason Tatum, the alarm clock has to go off. Wake up, my friend. Wake up.
You know what's happening? It's like somebody said, they're focusing on Tatum and Brown and leaving the others open, you know? So that's how Derek White is getting so many open shots. He's getting to the baskets. It's just unbelievable. And yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying. Tatum has to show up in at least in one game series, one game
Kenny,
in each series. I don't think he
Kenny,
had. I don't think he had the potential in Miami to go for that extra. But in this series against Cleveland, he has to take control of at least one game.
Kenny, I'm going to ask you this question right now. We keep talking about the face of the league, where it's going, and I keep saying Jason Tatum may be a little too soft. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, would you take him over Tatum right now? No. Wow. Anthony Edwards?
No.
You're off your rocker. Kenny, you're a basketball guy. Look at it.
No. You know why? I tell you why.
Why? Go ahead.
Because Shai can't hit the 3. He can't hit the 3. He can't hit the 3. His main hoops, his main scoring is inside the paint or that middle jumper. On threes, he's 18%. Eric, 18% from three. 18%. Don't get me wrong, he's great. He can get to the basket anytime he wants to. He has that mid-range jumper, but from outside, no.
You're crazy. You're
He
crazy.
has he has to work. He has to work for his scoring. Tatum
Kenny,
doesn't have to work too hard. He can get to the basket. He can shoot three. He's shooting 37% from three.
SGA
No-brainer.
isn't backing down from anybody. SGA is going to take it to your chest, whereas Tatum still throwing his arms up and complaining about not getting calls. He's still the same soft player that we've had for the last 6 years. And I'm tired of it because this team needs Jason Tatum to become the Larry Bird who was the alpha and was going to take over a series. The Paul Pierces, the Kevin Garnett's that took over a series and didn't want to lose. He is deferring to far less talented players. And I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's not good or Derek White's not good. Jason Tatum should be a legitimate superstar in this league. And I would take SGA over him, Anthony Edwards over him. And I don't even like Jalen Brunson right now. Anthony Edwards was talking smack as he's crisscrossing a player and pointing at him and then hitting a three. Jason Tatum don't do that. Jason Tatum ain't telling Kevin Durant you're small. Anthony Edwards is that guy.
That's totally disrespectful.
Disrespectful because
that's
that's because they're refusing to lose, bro. They're not going to lose. He's not going to lose to those guys. He's not going to back down in the corner. Oh, that's Kevin Durant. Let me be nice. Take it to him. JT, take it to him. Take it to him.
He's old.
Anyway, can I say this too? Poor Donovan Mitchell, because the stat line should read, or actually the next headline when ESPN or whoever's doing the next game, just put a picture of Donovan Mitchell versus the Boston Celtics because there's no other Cavaliers showing up.
No.
That poor guy is trying to do it all. He's going to score 50 to 60 points a game for them to even have a shot.
Yeah, right?
This series is over.
Yeah.
I don't. If you're getting Derek White's going to keep shooting like that, forget it.
You're right. Right. Exactly.
So you got the Knicks coming out, and who coming out of this one?
Celtics, of course. Celtics.
So you got Boston versus New York, NBA Eastern Conference Final. Would that not be insane?
Woo! That would be woo.
Kenny, the world is waiting. The world is waiting. That would be a phenomenal one. All right, my friend. So obviously we'll do a show when the Eastern and Western Conference Finals come up, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Kind of broke down some of what's going on in the second round here, but we're gonna have some fun in Knicks. We know Austin, Knicks in 4. Tell us again. We get it. Austin wants the Knicks in 4. You got it, buddy.
Yes, you got it, buddy. Let's go next. Let's go.
They will be, and for the Celtics, I hope so, because all those guys will be playing 48 minutes a game and be completely exhausted. I'll take that as a Celtic fan.
Me too.
All right, Kenny, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to do a Do You Know? We're going to do a little bit of playoff basketball. Do you know? All right.
All right.
And, we're going to start off with the New York Knicks. So, Austin, it seems like you're a Knicks fan. Let's see if you know this one. So, Jalen Brunson is currently leading the NBA playoffs in points, 36.6 points per game.
Yep.
He is now currently the New York Knicks' highest points per game player in playoff history. Obviously, very short. Who is number 2? Who did he pass to become? So who was the New York Knicks all-time leading points per game scorer before Jalen Brunson is what he's doing this season?
In the playoffs.
Just the playoffs.
Just the playoffs. This is kind of a trick question.
All-time Knicks points per game in the playoffs.
I know it. I know it's not right. I know it's not right. But I'm going to say I don't think it's right. No, it's not right. I know it's not right, but I'm saying Carmelo Anthony.
And we got Austin believes it's Melo as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if you gentlemen are right.
It's not.
All right.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think
it was Bernard King. Bernard
King. I knew it.
Averaged 31 points per game in his Knicks playoff career. You know who was third? Carmelo Anthony. Very good, though, gentlemen. Not bad. Carmelo Anthony was number 3. I think 28.6. Don't quote me on the
baseline fadeaway like Bernard King. Bing, bing, bing.
So that was the first one. All right, Kenny. So I'm going to bring this up now because it doesn't really affect. So the Boston Celtics are playing the Cleveland Cavaliers currently. They have met 47 times, Kenny, in the postseason. Who leads the series and what's the record?
In the playoffs?
In the playoffs.
Whoo, and what's the record? Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus.
So 47 games. I'm giving you the number.
All right.
You got to give me a winner. Who's been winning the series so far out of the 47 games that they've played in the postseason? And what's the record?
Okay. All right.
And none of that new math stuff.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go with Boston. I'm gonna go with the Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go 37-10.
37-10.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, my friend. Believe it or not, it is the Cleveland Cavaliers who lead the series 24-23. And that's with the win. That's with the win last night. So next game they play 48. If the Celtics win, it'll be tied all time 24-24.
Wow.
So believe it or not, the Cleveland Cavaliers have a winning record against the Boston Celtics in the postseason.
Wow. I did not know that.
Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah,
That's an interesting one. That's a fun one.
It's crazy.
All right. Last one, Kenny.
All right. I got to get this one.
All right. And I can bring up this gentleman right here. So Chris Finch, Minnesota Timberwolves head coach.
Yep.
Obviously led his team to the playoffs. Very successful so far. 2 other teams in the Timberwolves history have brought their team to the playoffs. Can you name the other 2 coaches?
Oh, that's easy.
All right.
Number 1 is Flip, R.I.P.
Flip Sanders, rest in peace.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, and the second one would be what's his name? I know this. What is Flip?
So Flip Sanders.
Yep.
Was one of them.
Yep.
Austin is saying Tibbs.
I don't think Tibbs made the playoffs. Although he is a defensive genius, and thank you, 2008 Tibbs. I don't think he made the playoffs. Austin, I don't think he made the playoffs.
Do you have a guess? Flip Sanders and
I'll go with Tibbs, but I don't think he made the playoffs.
Wise man for going with Austin. Great call. Chris Finch, Flip Sanders, Tom Thibodeau, the only 3 coaches to ever bring the Minnesota Timberwolves to the playoffs. I'm sure Austin cheated. No, he didn't cheat.
He didn't cheat. Honest tongue in cheek.
That was a good one. Very good. All right. This
Very
has been Sports Unfolded NBA ranking show, playoff edition with the big dog, Kenny. We are normally on every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting, where we cover all of the top sports stories going on in the world today. We will definitely be talking about NBA playoffs. We have a lot to cover with the NHL and their playoffs. So much happening. Chris Sale facing the Boston Red Sox. He might have a better shot than Paul Mitchell does. Bring Chris Sale. Maybe he'll play more than the other guys. Chris Sale facing the Boston Red Sox. I'm sure Ron's going to have a blast with that, especially if Sale tears it up. We want to thank everybody that's joined us live. Ron, Austin, you guys have been amazing tonight. Big Dog, thank you for your basketball insight. We appreciate it. We will see you next week. We'll talk some Eastern and Western Conference Finals matchups and what our thoughts are on that as well. This, again, has been Sports Unfolded, NBA Ranking Show, Playoff Edition 2024. Join us, like us, share us, follow us. All our social media platforms have been riding on that ticker, so just check us out. Kenny, thank you again. We will see you soon, and all we ever ask for every single show is peace on earth.
Peace.